What is up, guys? It's Shizuru, and today it's kind of a new video. Um, I thought I would try some new things. One of those new things that I wanted to try was talking about talk about just doing some story times about my life. Cause I have some pretty interesting stories I can tell, and so this is gonna be the first one. I'm gonna see what people's reactions are to it. People like it, people like it, I'll continue it. If people don't like it, then obviously I'll just probably be a one-off thing, or it might literally just be something I do whenever I just feel like it. But today's story time is the time that high school bullying turned into me getting a knife pulled on me. Um, During lunch in front of the security cameras too, so it was kind of just it was kind of let's just say it was a really messy time. um to go into a little bit more details, basically what had happened is, no, let me try to start from the beginning actually, because yeah, no, I mean every story is better if you actually know like the groundwork that led to up to it. So sophomore year, um school had opened back up to, like, not just online anymore. It was I mean, there was an online option, but it was now online and in person. Now, my mom, well, basically, it wasn't just my mom. It was also my decision. Um, I decided to start going to school in person again. Um, I used to go to a college prep school, and at that college prep school, there was let's just say there was like a lot of, like, there were groups, like, um, I guess you could call them like cliques, but like it wasn't even really cliques either, because it was more just like you had the few people you hung out with, and then other than those people, like, you wouldn't really interact with anyone else. And I've never been a big fan of the, like, the clique culture type of deal. And so I was just more always to myself, because like I've always just been to myself, to be honest. Because for me, it's never been worth the hassle of making a lot of friends. I used to have my, like, one few friend. Well, not, well, that's doesn't make sense. I used to have my few friends that I used to hang out with, and that would be pretty much it. And basically, what had happened was um what basically happened was sorry, I'm trying to, like, use my brain. What happened was, since it was a new school year and everyone had been online for so long, no one really had those friend groups yet, except for people they knew from school before. And especially in sophomore year, we weren't even allowed, like, off-campus lunch yet. Well, we never got that privilege, so I don't even know what I'm saying yet. But we were never offered like off-campus lunch, so like us sophomores especially, we didn't really, we we weren't considered like you know cool kids, or we didn't have huge friend groups. I mean, obviously, like I said before, if they were from the same elementary or middle school, then those were usually the people you would hang out with. And basically, what had happened was um what happened was basically in my in my, was it geography? Yeah, in my geography, is it geography? Was it world history? It might have been in my world history class. There we go. In my world history class, what had basically happened is what had basically happened is, in my in that class, I started just because I'm like social, but I'm not like I'm not one of those people who are too social, but like I can like hold a conversation pretty well. And so you know,
Young man.
I decided to talk to this guy who sat right next to me. Um, just to be like totally like anonymous because I don't want to get in trouble with this. I'll just call him like John. Um, so me and John were about like the same weight class. Like we were on the heavier side. I especially was. In sophomore year, I was 250 and studying at like 4'11", 5 foot. Um, but
Yes.
basically, what had happened was basically I was I was like I was stood to my I like kept to myself, so I never had really any problems with anyone. And you know, my friend, well, he's not my friend, but John and I, we had the same lunch period, so me and him we used to like eat together on the table with one of our other friends, and basically what had basically happened was we would hang out. I would get sick like a lot, so we didn't hang out too much, but like we would still hang out. Like we used to sit at the same table and shit. And basically what had happened is they finally allowed sophomores on certain days to eat outside. So you know, me, John, and our other friend, our mutual friend, um, we went outside to eat. But you know, us being high schoolers, we didn't like this fucking school lunch. I don't think anyone really likes school lunch. But basically what had happened was I had I had basically me and John had went and snuck out, and John at the time had a car. He was not licensed. He only had a permit, but he did have a car. And we snuck off to McDonald's to get some food. And then we came back with the food, and then John suddenly, like, other sophomores seen that John had like was able to get food because he has a car, and then everyone was like, you know, hyping him up and shit, you know, asking for food, and then basically John had a kind of, because at that time that was like considered the cool kids, the guys who went up to John to talk to him, and basically John had a. They asked John if they could take them places sometime, and John was like, yeah. So John ended up kind of becoming a cool kid. Like, it wasn't instantaneously, but like he basically got good grace with
See you.
he got good grace with like the cool kids, and after he got good grace with them, basically what had happened was, I'm sorry, I'm trying to rethink this story in my head. Basically what had happened is John had started to now invite his new friends to our table. But the thing is, his new friends were like, they were like, they were not good people. They were like annoying. All they did was talk shit about others. They got in fights. They did drugs, and you know, I'm not like one to judge, but that's literally just the truth. And what happened was I was starting to get fed up with it because he would like John would come at me for my weight when we were in the same weight class. We had the same looks, and the only thing he had above me was he had a car, but no license, only a car. And so what happened what had happened is
Nice to meet you. Huh?
what happened, I'm trying to think once again, sorry. But basically what had happened is they basically used to talk shit, and especially about me for some reason. I was getting sick of it. And like this one time, uh John had called me something that's crazy to call someone. He had called me a school shooter. And you know, at first I didn't react to it because you know I was just not gonna react to it. But after that, John would start doing that every day, and I got so fed up to the point where I was like, I was like, dude, stop, because if I was a school shooter, I would shoot you. Obviously, a lie and a joke on top of it, because he's the one who was calling me a school shooter, which at the time, you know, I thought it was fine for me to say because he was the one who kept bringing it up. Now I realize, obviously not, because even though, you know, I was getting harassed this whole time, and even though, like, they have proof of me getting harassed, I still was the one who ended up, in trouble in this situation. But basically, this is important. The reason why I'm telling you this is because this is the important part. Eventually, John stopped, you know, sitting at the table with us. Started just sitting with his new friends. I dyed my hair red. He dyed his hair red because he was a fucking copycat, bro. He did nothing. He had like no sense of awareness. Like everything he would judge me for, he would do himself.
What's up?
And you know, apparently to him that was just fine.
Yeah.
But basically what had happened, and you know, I am obviously I'm leaving out like some build up, but this is just some most important stuff. What had happened is one day, I have no clue why. I never found out why, because instead of me being able to even know why he did this to me, they decided that he, like they just decided just to himself, bro. Without even my knowledge. And basically what happened was they had him and his friend group walks up to the table, right? And he's like saying some, I heard you were talking shit. I heard you were talking shit. And I was like, bro, what are you talking about, dog? Because at the time, I hadn't interacted him for almost months at this point. Because I was just, I was sick of his bullshit. I was sick of all the drama that he brought along with him. So I wasn't even interacting with him at the time. But he was saying I was talking shit about him. I had no clue. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? And then he pulls out a knife, right? Now, listen, he pulls out a knife on me, and he's holding it up to my chest, and I'm like, I'm like stun locked, because I'm like, not only was he able to bring a knife into the school, but he's holding it to my chest right now, and basically, what had happened was, you know, he started going like, he was like, oh, no, you were talking shit, you were doing this, you were doing that. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Because I genuinely didn't know what he was talking about, but now I'm scared. I mean, like, literally, and like, you know what? You can say whatever, you can call me a pussy or whatever, but, dude, that shit's terrifying, having someone hold a knife to your chest, man. And like, you can tell it's a real knife. It's sharp, it's metal, it's a real knife. And basically what had happened was he kept going on about basically saying I was talking shit about him, which I wasn't, and I don't know why he thought I was, but I literally wasn't. And basically what had happened is uh John was holding a knife to my chest, and I was like, you know, I'm freaked out. Like I said, I'm stomach because you know, no kid should have to go through that. But I was going through that. Like, and you know, I'm scared. He keeps holding it closer and closer to my chest, and I'm like, dude, stop. And I'm like, start grabbing his. I literally start grabbing his. I started grabbing his what's it called? I started grabbing his arm, cause he was getting closer and closer to my chest with the knife, and then he said something about like, let me find out you talking shit again or so, something along the lines of that, and then I was just stunned because I was still like, dude, what did I do to deserve this? I haven't done nothing. I haven't even talked to this guy, bro. But I have to go through this for some reason, and it sucked. Fucking sucked, cause you know, like I was scared. I was like, bro, I'm gonna have to transfer schools now because you know this shit is happening. I don't want to tell the teachers. I don't want to tell the deans because if I tell the deans, I'll be a snitch. And you know, if one person's already hates me, then his whole friend group will probably do the same thing, right? And so you know, me being in fear, I'm just like I'm gonna probably have to transfer schools, bro. Cause like I don't want to be part of that shit. I don't want to have to you know be scared, terrified about like you know my future at this school because someone thought it would be like a funny joke to fucking do that shit. Like you know, it literally it put me in a state of fear that I have never felt before. Like generally, I've never felt that much fear before. And basically, what had happened is I I decided to just go home and I told my mom and dad about it. My mom and dad was like, you need to call the school. And I was like, I don't want to call the school because then I'm going to be seen as a... I was explaining to them that like if I call the school, then I'm going to be seen as a snitch. And if I'm seen as a snitch, then that'll put a target on my back. And he was like, well, what do you want to do? Because you only have two options. Either...
I'm Sunny. Nice to meet you.
Oh, he was like, either you're going to tell him or tell the school, or you're gonna have to deal with this by yourself. And so I was like, just fine, okay, fine. I'll go tell this. I'll tell the school, right? So I go and tell the school. I go. Well, I didn't go tell the school right away, but well, I mean, technically, I did tell them right away because it's like a long story. My mom called the school. She talked to the school, and my dad was like, "Can we press charges on it?" And they were like, "You can, but then you would have to dispute that between you guys." And what basically happened is I go to school the next day. I go to school the next day, and I don't know like really what to do or how to feel because you know I'm still shaken up about like this whole situation. And then I get brought to the dean's office. And then you know I'm talking to the dean, and this shit I cannot make it up to you. This shit I can literally not make it up to you. I have really bad anxiety, and I have a really bad like depression too. So like, you know, like situations where like there's nothing in my control, where it literally feels like I have nothing in control right now. Like my whole life's out of control.
What's up?
Situations like that drive me like nuts. And so basically what had happened is they had talked to the guy who had pulled the knife out on me, and they caught it on video camera, and they confiscated the knife. And oh, and I forgot to put this part in. John had told me the knife was a fake knife, and so I can't tell anyone about it. And it was not a fake knife; it was a real knife that he had pulled out on me. And basically, he the dean being strict was being like, you know, I think the dean and the whole school, honestly, I transferred out that school my senior year because of all this bullshit. Because the school is just a shit school, to be honest. It's supposed to be college prep school, but that was a fucking bad school. The teacher had no, not the teacher. The dean had basically came up to me and was like, listen, I know the truth, so either you're gonna tell me the truth, or you're either gonna tell me the truth, or there's gonna be a lot of consequences. And at the time I was like, what is he talking about? The truth? What have I done? And he had came up and he basically told me, he was like, did you or did you not say you were gonna shoot him? And I was like, what? And he was like, did you or did you not say you were gonna shoot him? Because that can determine what we can or can't do about this situation. And I was so confused because I was like, where the fuck did this come from? When did I ever say I was gonna shoot him? And then, but then he was like, he put it in a way where it was like, he knew for sure that I did. I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then like, it was like this whole thing. Basically what had happened is, after that, I just started crying and breaking down because I was like, dude, am I actually getting punished for saying something stupid instead of a kid literally pulling the knife out on me? And it turned out that yeah, it was. And it was it was disheartening as fuck because after that I had to go through a test with the counselor to check my mental well-being. And like, you know, that's such a degrading thing to do, especially at school. But I had to do a test about, you know, how's my mental state, how's this, how's that, am I, you know, mentally okay to be going to school? Do I have thoughts of harming others? Do I have thoughts of harming myself? And like, that whole time it's just like, there's no way this is actually happening right now. They have proof that this guy pulled a knife out on me, but I'm getting in trouble for saying something that, don't get me wrong, you shouldn't say. But compared to, you know, getting a knife pulled out, I would assume that would take priority. But no. What took priority was what had taken priority is me saying I was gonna shoot someone, which none of my family owns a gun, because, you know, we all have, you know, disabilities, mental disabilities that doesn't allow us to carry guns on us, except for my dad and brother. And after that I was put on a safety watch basically, and I was told I can't go to, you know, after school stuff. I can't do after school programs no more. I can't what was it called? I can't go to the dances anymore because of what had happened. I could no longer go to you know, luckily I wasn't a senior, so I couldn't go to prom, but I lost the privilege to go to you know, off-campus lunch. Like, I lost so much. And you want to know what the guy who pulled the knife on me got? He got a 2-day suspension, 2 to 3 day suspension. And you know, I was appalled, bro. I was like, there's no way this actually just happened. That did not just actually happen to me, bro. this is so disheartening. Like, you know, this is what makes victims not want to come out about like what happened to them, because you know they can the story can be like diluted so quickly. And I even try to explain to the dean the context, the dean and my counselor, the context of what I said that, because I didn't just out of nowhere go, I'm gonna shoot you. I said that because he was calling me a fucking school shooter. But yeah, I did that and nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. So it was not only a waste of time, but it was also a waste of the school year, because I no longer could do after school activities, and you know, I also received a suspension, by the way, so that was great. Really make a victim feel like he's safe. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the story time. After that, the only thing I really can think of that happened was you know, like the next year he like interacted with me a little bit, but I was not messing with it at all. Because you know that's just I just I just did not like it anymore. I just didn't like it, like the school anymore. And they added a policy the like senior year, that was the reason I had to transfer. They no longer allowed backpacks for some reason, and they no longer allowed phones. Now I have to keep my phone and my backpack on me for physical reasons. Because I have really severe asthma and I've had to go to the hospital from school before. But but yeah, basically,
Listen.
basically moral of the story is don't tell your deans what's going on, because they won't do anything about it if you have like even the slightest bit of dirt on you. So if you want to deal with situations like that, I would recommend you just literally press charges right away. Press charges right away, because you know, if this situation happens to you, you shouldn't have to feel like as the victim you're getting blamed, because that's basically how I felt. I felt like I was being blamed for having a knife pulled on me because I said one stupid thing one time. Um, and you know, pressing charges will just do a lot more than trusting these teachers. But I'm not saying that for sure either. This is just my personal experience. Like, I say moral of the story, but it's more of just like in a joking manner. Tell your parents. If you have parents, tell your parents. Ask them what you should do. And other than that, you know, it's really one of those things where you're gonna just have to like you have to decide, either you're gonna tell the police, or you're gonna tell the school, or or you can hide it. I can't tell you what to do, but my honest opinion is that this is something that's going on in your life, then your best course of action is talking about it. Even if it's like just your parents, even if you don't act on it, you should tell a trusted adult. Like, definitely tell a trusted adult. Anyways, that's been all for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, please. You know, I did a rant the other day about how, you know, I have thought about this being a job, but you know, like I said about that too, is you can't decide what's gonna be your job or not. You got, if you need money, then you're gonna do a job. So this is more just a hobby for now. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you all later. Bye bye.